Well, my phone crashed. It didn't crash. I ran out of videoing time. My apologies. So time is on my side. I thought the horse was tremendous yesterday. You know, you're going in, you're taking a 3-year-old and racing them against open horses. And I don't care what horses they are, it's the open. And these are aged horses. No joke. I took him off the gate. What I liked about him was he's always a little fresh and he wants to get out of there, but he still remembers. You know, you give him a little seesaw at the gate and he'll come right back to you, and then you can duck him in a hole and do whatever you want with him. He is the perfect horse. You can leave with him. Now, obviously, there's other horses that can leave fast too. We found that out in the Breeders' Crown Final. But he can leave fast. He can race them off the pace, and he just brings it when he's there. And I love that about that horse. He's in a small class that we've ever had of horses. Now, you know, you ask James or Dexter Dunn or Todd McCarthy or Andy McCarthy or, you know, Jody and Mark, anybody that's ever driven good horses, they'll probably tell you they all have the same kind of tendencies. You can race them however you want. They bring it, right? They're there to get the job done, and it's not something that's a different kind of animal. The kind of animal that we're trying our hardest to find and fill our barn with, but it's easier said than done. And it's funny because other people try to do the same thing. You know, if you circling back to a horse like Save America, the scouting report on Save America was that he was fast but lazy and really didn't put an honest effort in. The vibe I got from talking, but very fast, the vibe I got from people made me think of a horse that was near and dear to our hearts all the time, and that's White Tiger. Always underachieving, but doing it well. And the only people that knew he was underachieving were the people sitting behind him. I could tell you that, and then you would look at his lines, you'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about. And there's a horse that made all this money, you know, got a mark of 51-4, and you call him an underachiever. Because when you sit behind him, you knew that he always reserved a little bit, right? Just him. And the scouting report was the same on Save America. It's been anything but for us. Change of scenery, change of maybe the way he gets trained. I have no idea, but the horse that we bought, that I was happy buying, that underachiever, I was okay buying him for that price. For what we wanted him to do, I was okay with that. Well, I'll tell you what, that supposed underachiever is far from it. I wish we had more underachievers like him. He could have been second the other day in the Open. That horse was the favorite on the front end. He could have been second, and we'd be like, he raced pretty good again. Horse continues to just bang on the door, get the job done once in a while, but just be there all the time. But he got up and won. Out-sprinted that horse to the wire. That wasn't like, oh, he just kind of lumbered past him. No. He out-sprinted that horse to the wire to win. So just because maybe a horse is like that in one barn does not mean he's going to be, or she is going to be, in another. We saw that with Think of Galaxies when we bought her 2 years ago from Burke. There's 2 top barns we bought those horses for, Nancy Tactor and Ron Burke. And I am certainly not advocating that we do a better job than either, because we don't. They consistently win big races. But in these 2 instances, we did well with those horses. So it's a feather in our cap. But what I was getting at was just how horses can change a little bit, right? And when it comes to time is on my side, he doesn't need to. He is the perfect horse. He puts in an honest effort every time he goes on the track. You can leave, you can sit, you can drive him however you want. Make no mistake, I was a winner yesterday if I get through. And I knew Ronnie wasn't going to give me a couple more inches to get out. He knew exactly who was on the far outside. It's his teammate. Ronnie Wren was driving Ron Burke's horse, and Ron Burke's other horse was closing from the far outside. Now, if you're Ron Burke watching that at home, and Ronnie Wren slides over and lets me out, and you get beat, both your horses just get beat because of that, not very happy. Not going to the kitchen to pop any popcorn, I can tell you that. No, having said that, if that was a stake race, I guarantee you I win the race. I guarantee you I get there.
Just a reminder, they're starting to sell the 2025 backstretch IDs.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I better get one then.
A little bit of grace period into January to get yours, but
I'll get mine tonight.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right.
I forgot to, January 1st, everybody's licenses are done. And this is important for everybody out there. If you have an Ohio license, Pennsylvania, January 1st, I believe you need a new license, and I need one too, so I better get it tonight. As I was saying, if it was a stake race, I'd shove my way out. I might have been going back to the winner's circle with an inquiry sign and a little blinking light beside my number, and I may have been first place fifth. But I guarantee you I crossed the wire first. But yesterday, with time is on my side, here's a horse coming in 6 weeks in a tough position in the open. Am I going to crash my way out? I just let him settle through the wire. I knew I was going to get out. I knew eventually when Gung Ho went by and there was no danger he was going to lose, Ronnie would move over and let me out. That's exactly what he did. Once I get out, I was beat, half a length or second? But give me another 4 feet, I'm an easy second. But he raced so good. Earplugs in his ears, bit in his mouth. The horse was great. James would have been so proud. I can tell you one thing. Next week, he won't be locked in. And if those are the same horses that line up on the gate, there's a better than good chance that I'll be heading to the winner's circle. He raced absolutely fantastic yesterday. I was very, very pleased with him and proud of the way he raced. And it's just so nice to sit behind a top horse. And although he's not, the best of the best, he's one of them. And he's a very, very good horse and raced great yesterday. So yesterday we had some good qualifiers. I was surprisingly very pleased with Never Lose Felix. The tactical landing filly was good. She's going to need another qualifier. Mounds for All will need another qualifier. Silken Idex will need at least one more qualifier. And then we'll see what's up with Silken Idex after that. I don't plan on racing any of those horses at London and Flamborough. So if the Idex horse isn't good enough, we can either send him to the Meadows for a couple of starts, or if he's not good enough and we've just landed on the assumption that he's just not going to be a stable horse, then we'll sell him. And there's a couple of them here. I'm ready too. I mean, he's got to pull up his pants, or this will be his one and only start with us this week. They can't all be good, right? There has to be a scale. There has to be each end of the bookshelf, right? Bookends. You're going to have bad ones and you're going to have good ones. You got to continue to shorten the left of that bookshelf best you can. Best you can as we move forward. So that's exactly what we're going to do. And you see that again on Monday. Couldn't get the Denali Dio in. I told Steve, I said, also eligible on Saturday is unacceptable. He's not good enough to go to Mohawk, in my opinion. Not right now, anyway. I can't get him in at Dayton. I can't get him at the Meadows. All the draws are done. He said, fine, just put the horse up on preferred. That's what we did. We bought him in Harrisburg. He's raced one time. We scratched him his first start. He was sick. We raced him one time. He was short. He was okay. He trotted good, but he was short. We go to get him in, can't get him in, go to get him in on the 10th day. 10 days. Also eligible? No. Sorry, he's got to go. So he's leaving, and then Cheers to Beers. There's one other yearling in the barn that I'm just watching. I'm looking at them a little bit differently now, rather than just saying, hey, good job. You're doing your work great. Good job. Okay. How good? How good are you doing your job? Is your gait good? Is your attitude good? Are we going to have to gouge you? I just looked at Cheers for Beers. Nice horse. Does his work okay. I just don't see how he gets from here to the winner's circle. And that is super early to say. But the vast majority of the ownership of Cheers to Beers is one client. 2 clients. And they just wanted stake horses. So, rather than try to figure out how we turn him into a stake horse or how he gets there, I just gave them the raw goods. If we have 50 horses in the barn right now, he's in the bottom 10% starting out. He's a decent colt. What do you think? And they own a bunch of other horses. They said, no, would you mind if we just sold them? Well, of course not. It's your prerogative. That's what you want to do. No problem at all. That's exactly what we did, or what we're going to do on Monday. So with that, I got to let you go. I'm 40 minutes late now. I'm going to get some angry eyes out the door here in a second. It's a beautiful, and I mean beautiful, Saturday. A little cold, but a beautiful Saturday here in Ohio. I'm going to finish up here in the barn in a few hours, go home, get the girls. We're going to go shopping, get Amy and Ollie some Christmas gifts, put them under the tree. And then we are going to come back to Northfield. I'm going to race in race 2 and 4 tonight. And then I'm going to politely call the judges and tell them, would you mind if I wasn't here for race 9 and 13? I am absolutely confident you can find suitable replacements. And then take the girls to supper and head home for the evening. I hope you have something fun planned for today. It is going to be a beautiful day here in Ohio, and I hope it's just as beautiful wherever you are. Have a great Saturday, everybody. I will talk to you soon. Take care.